Atlanta, Georgia is where we go. Robert is there. Robert, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call today.
You bet. How can I help?
So I'm having trouble because COVID has killed my career path. I have been in the international travel industry for 5 years now. I've been marketing travel to Israel, to Christians in the U.S. As you can imagine, that has taken a major, major downturn. It's been a fantastic 5 years, loved it, but there's no way to know when it will resurrect. I currently work for a private employer out of Israel. I used to work for the government, and I went private sector. My employer, based in Israel, our contract does not allow me to find extra work within our industry without it going through him first because we're consultants in the way we're structured. I don't know where to go with my skill set because of what's going on. I've been reduced to 25% pay of my normal contract since April, and there's really no increase in sight as to when I'm going to go back to normal. So I need help figuring out where I go next with what I love to do. I love people and teaching and connecting and presenting classic marketing styles, and I've been a marketing director before. Yeah. But the way of marketing today, it's all digital strategy, and although that's important, it's not me. And so I'm not really sure where to go next because I've been doing one very specific thing for 5 years.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. This thing is going to turn around, and when it turns around, you're going to be ready to roll. So I just want to make sure that you don't leave this all together because you said it killed your career path, and I don't believe that. I think it's covered it up. And as long as you hang on. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to try to come up with a day job. And is this to supplement the 25% pay? So how much money do you need to make? Give me that number, rough numbers.
So I need to make in a month $5,500 to $6,000, and I'm currently making just under $1,500.
Okay, so let's round up. We need to come up with $4,500. Right?
Correct.
Okay. And how many hours a week can you give to this second job?
Well, with 2 young kids at home, it's been kind of tough. I've been having to figure out where to work it. I could probably add. I could say I could give an extra 4, maybe 5 hours in a day between afternoon and evening when there's downtime. So that's what I'm trying to figure out.
Is your wife working?
She is a nurse, so she works 2 days a week, trying to get up to 3 if it's available because of the money. So, yeah.
Yeah. I let me ask a silly question. Why is she not looking at 5 days a week?
Well, she's a registered nurse. That they don't do 5 days a week.
What do they do?
They do 2 and 3 day shifts per week because it's 12-hour shifts. They work a normal amount of hours in a week, but it's 12 and 13 hours.
Oh, okay, so I got you.
When she works one day, it's like 2 for us.
If she goes to a third day, how much is that going to make up? On our $4,500 deficit.
Based on what she used to make, it would probably bring in around $1,200 a month. But it's not. To clarify, it's not that she's not wanting to. It's that the positions are not available because, oddly enough, she works at a children's hospital, and they're not actually as busy as the news would make you think.
I know. So. I get it. But I'm just looking at all the options.
No. Thank you.
I mean, let's say she gets it maybe not at a children's hospital. Maybe she picks up a day somewhere else. I don't know. I'm just trying to help you think through this. Because here's your challenge. Your challenge is you say you only got 4 to 5 hours to give because you're watching the kids.
Yes.
But but that's 2 days. So when she's home the other 3 days, you've got more hours to give. Am I right?
Yes.
Okay, so you got to come up with the hours here, man. Because here's the thing. You can't go get a marketing job anyway. Nobody's going to give you a marketing job where you're there might be a part-time marketing job, but I think at this point it's going to be straight hustle. I think it could be some manual labor, that it gives you the kind of that, here's the hours I can put in and I can rack up some money. So I'd be looking at delivery, maybe 2 different delivery options. If you can make a couple grand a month doing delivery or some type of manual labor right now, this is for a season, man. It's for a season. And you've got to try to find between your wife, let's hope she gets an additional $1,200. And so that now knocks it down to what is that, $3,300 deficit. And if you can make a couple grand a month, because there are jobs out there. There are jobs, there are jobs in healthcare where you're just servicing healthcare. So you're not actually a healthcare worker, but you're in there doing jobs in the hospital, right?
Yeah.
So, you know, if you got to do some janitor stuff, I guess my point is you're limited anyway. So you can't look at this as, well, I'm going to go get another full-time day job. I don't think you can do that based on the kiddos. So now it is a really good manual labor job where they'll be flexible with you on the hours, or you're working nights or doing something like that. That's what you got to do right now. You're limited. But I can tell you this, I believe you can make $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I really do believe that. But you're just going to have to
seeing it out there.
Yeah, absolutely. In Atlanta?
Yeah.
Come on, man. Brian Kemp opened that state up early. There are jobs in Atlanta. There are jobs. I mean, you want to go do labor, you want to go do delivery. You got to look in the Atlanta area. I'm not sitting here looking at Atlanta jobs every day, but I know the Georgia economy has opened up. It's not like New York City. And so where in Atlanta do you live? Are you in the suburbs?
Yeah, I'm in the suburbs. I'm in Smyrna. It's northwest Atlanta.
Yeah. I mean, if you've got to go do 2 jobs to try to get to that $2,000 to $3,000, and then you've got your hours where you get those days where you got to be there for the kids, and then every other time you're working like a maniac right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
I know that what I'm telling you doesn't sound fun, but we don't have an option for fun right now. Unless, now here's the deal, unless you leave the tourism gig. So now we're trying to replace the whole.
I have thought about. Because of how it's going.
Well,
we're waiting on a government to tell us when the skies will open. So
right. So my point is that becomes a whole different deal where I do believe there are marketing positions, and I do believe there are some things where maybe it's not a straight marketing position, but you take all that experience that you've got and you plug that into, I'm going to get into a sales role. Because there's sales roles everywhere, and a marketer is a form of sales. But is this a short-term day job? Sure. Because once the tourism opens back up, they're going to be looking for tourism professionals like crazy. And believe me, tourism is coming back. Okay. We don't know if it's 6 months or a year, but I believe it's coming back. Let me just give you an anecdote.
Okay.
How much COVID news have you seen in the last 5 to 6 days?
Well, next to the convention stuff, it's been nothing but.
Okay, well, what does that tell you?
Fear.
Yeah, but let's just be honest. The news is getting better. Just go do your own research. We're cycling through this thing, and the media is now focused on other things. Why? Because there's more important things. So the American people at some point are going to go, all right, it's time for us to come out of hiding in states where they're hiding. So I just think you're looking. I just think you're looking for a 6-month solution here. That's what I think.
Okay.
I think first quarter next year. I think tourism is coming back. I really do. So
we're talking to people every day trying to figure out when they think they want to go. So
trust me.
Okay.
Do you know what kind of a surge we're going to have in tourism when this thing quiets down?
Everybody's trying to get out of their house.
People are literally just begging to go somewhere. You're going to see one of the greatest economic spikes we've ever seen in the history of the world when tourism fully opens back up, and it will. So I just think you got to do whatever it takes, man. And I know that's not fun to hear, but that's what I would do if I were in your situation. I'd be looking at my wife going, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be working, and when I'm not working, I'm with you and the kids. But other than that, I'm at work. And you guys buckle down and get through this time because you can.